As expected, there was a gargantuan mountain of negative response to Ironheart, but I would counter by pointing out that the series actually very much lives up to its name.
Riri Williams, bad girl genius.
I want you to pause and take a moment to think about some of those people in your life who you looked up to as a hero. It could be your father, someone else's father, a firefighter, or even a fictional one like Tony Stark.
You should not be here.
I was gonna go home.
I don't want to hear
But it was such a long way down, and I just thought about shooting.
And now I gotta hear it.
Kind of stuck to the side of the ship, and this suit is ridiculously intuitive, by the way. So if anything, it's kind of your fault that I'm here.
What did you just say?
I take that back.
And every single one of them was definitely not perfect. Everybody has things they need to overcome to grow up to become the people that we are. But at some point in their own heroic journey, they had to put others first. They all sacrificed something to help others, even those they didn't even know. Sometimes they even sacrificed their very lives for the greater good.
I am Iron Man.
What the deuce? Where'd you go?
And then there's Ironheart. Even the name tells you everything you need to know. Cold, unfeeling, immovable.
Don't forget selfish, greedy, entitled, self-aggrandizing, narcissistic.
Once upon a time, Disney put out the Willow TV series, a show so incredibly bad, they yanked it off of Disney Plus as a tax write-off. Since then, they've given us Echo, The Acolyte, She-Hulk, The Marvels, Secret Invasion, all of them arguably worse than Willow, but instead of pulling those down too, they've dished out a show that could actually do marginalized groups actual harm.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
The lumpy turd spasm called Ironheart.
This thing is so bad, Disney Plus itself tried to protect me by refusing to play it. Obviously, I eventually got it going, and despite my already lower than low expectations, this show dug in even deeper. So much so, I'm going to need your guys' help with something in a little bit, but more on that later. The Mouse was already aware of how appalling this is. That's why they sat on it for 3 years before putting it out. But why dump it out now, right before the Fantastic Four? It's like they're going out of their way to make bad choices.
Stock manipulation?
Who knows? But the smart thing would have been to pay any cost or penalties needed to make sure this thing never saw the light of day. Warner Brothers had the self-awareness to shit-can Batgirl, even with Michael Keaton as Batman. It had a lot of things going for it. Filming was in the can. It was done.
But you absolutely have to give them credit for putting the brakes on something they didn't believe in. Disney is sorely lacking that vital internal filter.
Now, we can't say definitively at this point why they actually did it, but I feel safe in guaranteeing that it would have been better than Ironheart. Especially when you consider that both the Disney and Marvel brands are so heavily damaged, especially when they're about to try and recover their footing with the Fantastic Four. The lack of self-awareness by both the studio and the writers of the show is astonishing. While the other shows I mentioned have a lot wrong going on with them, Ironheart goes further by being deeply immoral, criminal. This show is so densely unaware of itself and what it's doing that I don't think the makers even realize that they're actively undermining the causes of minorities and marginalized groups in this country. It's that bad. This is a show that ideally should inspire young women to get into STEM fields, to be an inspiration to those that desperately need it right now, but instead they get
Riri Williams, bad girl genius. Hey, woo!
She's arrogant, entitled, and possesses all the qualities needed to be a supervillain, really, not an Avenger.
It just makes no fucking sense. I mean, it's just bullshit.
Sitting in a deliriously privileged position of enjoying a full-ride scholarship to MIT, of all places, with a program especially designed to accommodate her specific talents, it's still not good enough for her.
Due respect, Dean Troy, what do I get out of matriculation? Some job in Palo Alto with a tiny window and a bunch of guys I have to pretend like? I want to build something undeniable. I want real life scientific epiphanies. You want me to do homework? I have to explain to my professors. You want me to be small, but I refuse. Riri, that's a hot pile of garbage. Trash, and you know it.
Kids everywhere would do anything to be in her position. She seems to think that the only reason he succeeded in life was because he was a billionaire.
Do you think Tony Stark would be Tony Stark if he wasn't a billionaire? No shade.
He had to earn it.
Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave with a bunch of scraps!
He built the Mark I armor in a cave to save his own life with less resources than what she was served to her on a silver platter.
Kinda reminds me of a certain someone.
This carpet is a person with feelings.
In the first 10 minutes of the episode, every character refers to her as a genius, including herself. I don't know about you, and I'm sure you feel the same way. If anyone tells me they're a genius, I'm going to assume the opposite.
I am the king! I will punish you.
Any man who must say, I am the king, is no true king.
And this genius fries the entire MIT power grid, and she's expelled, but not just for that, but also for helping other students cheat. In essence, helping them to circumvent the system designed to educate and advance them along to jobs they're ultimately now not going to be qualified for because they cheated.
The AI from my prototype already cost millions of dollars, which clearly I don't have. So yeah, my means of fundraising have been a little experimental.
We're told explicitly that she's been going to MIT for 4 years on this special fellowship, produced nothing, not advanced her education in the slightest, helped other students cheat, and her response is to confidently ask for more money. It is comically bizarre how often the show actively contradicts itself. At one point it says she's oppressed, then it makes a point of showing the things that she's invented for the other students, like one for a shield to keep him from being bullied, which she could easily patent and sell for millions and get money that way. But no, I'm being oppressed by the man, so I better turn to a life of crime. I'm going to steal, I'm going to murder, and I'm a hero because it's all for me. Immediately after being expelled, she steals the Ironheart suit, which ironically has property of MIT stickers still on it. And despite this thing costing hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, you know there's never going to be a story thread involving the school coming after her to hold her accountable. So what is the message that they're trying to send to this show? That black culture is theft and appropriation of other people's hard work? If that's what they think inclusion is, where is the outrage from that community? Instead of inspiring people to be better, they deliberately choose to lean hard into negative stereotypes of minorities and then get shocked and offended when there's no applause. In fact, calling us ists and phobes when we call them out on their garbage. To my eye, this show is offensive to every single demographic depicted. I don't see how this would be appealing or inspiring to anyone. I was in broadcasting for over 20 years, and I know a thing or two about audience demographics, and I can tell you, I have no idea who the hell this garbage was targeted to other than the writers themselves. Anyone, regardless of sex, creed, religion, race, or political affiliation, with even 2 brain cells of self-awareness to rub together would watch one episode of this garbage and say, hey, Kevin Feige, you approved this? This is what you really think of us? Fuck you.
Fuck you!
Which brings us to where I need your guys' input. Longtime followers of the channel know that I've been using this scale to rate the shows and movies that we cover. While The Acolyte was kind of horrible and depressing in a point and laugh kind of way, Ironheart is horrible in a much more profound and sickening kind of way, glorifying insufferable narcissism and behaviors that are not only unheroic, but in the real world would get you thrown in jail for the rest of your life. So technically I should replace The Acolyte on this scale with Ironheart, but is this rating system even constructive? I wanted to do something unique since everyone uses numbers or stars or thumbs. Do you guys have any fun suggestions, or should I just switch to numbers?
Or the relative freshness of a certain vegetable.
Actually, it's a fruit.
The devil you say.
The Mephisto, I say. And hey, that's another thing. Marvel fans have been clamoring for the appearance of Mephisto in the live-action universe for years, ever since WandaVision, where it was revealed that the showrunner had no effing clue who Mephisto was. He could have been in the Multiverse of Madness, or Agatha, or why was this guy even allowed to touch a show? But they're gonna waste a Thanos-level character on this piece of garbage show.
This is worse than Kang being beaten by ants.
Right you are. We're just 3 episodes in, and with 3 to go, I will make some predictions. Riri's character will never evolve, never learn the lessons that Tony did in order to grow. She will never do anything heroic during the course of this show, and they'll end on some sort of cliffhanger so they can cheat their way out of having to write an actual intelligent ending. Let us know in the comments what you think of the rating scale, and stay fresh, cheesebags!